Welcome to my show. I'm a guest here. Her name is Rikki West. Mrs. Rikki, how are you doing, ma?
Doing today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the time and the opportunity, Mrs. Rikki. Firstly, you are an author. You are also a Berkeley trained scientist. You are also a truth seeker. Can you please, Mrs. Rikki, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mrs. Rikki?
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. I think the topics we will explore are so terribly important to people today. Um, I am doing very well today. I retired 10 years ago, and I get to enjoy my life, which I enjoy gardening and hiking and bicycling and exercising and cooking and being with my family. But it has not always been easy for me to feel happy. For many years, I felt very depressed and overwhelmed and frightened of living. And in many ways, I know how I inherited these problems from my family and their families and their families. But like you, I decided to be happy. So, what did I need to do in order to be happy? And the book I wrote that you encountered, and my life today, uh, is very much about finding within myself the deepest, truest, most peaceful, most of my being and trying to live there.
I can also relate. Sometimes, in life, you have to face the steps in life. And that is why what we need to understand as humans, there are steps in a lot of things we have to do, the triumphs, the ups and downs that we need to face and go through to become something.
Yes.
And when we get to that point, as you are now, you retired now, at least you are enjoying what you've done in recent years, which is very inspiring. And also trying your best to bring out a book is something that is also profound in, so it shows that there is something you can leave behind when you have leave this world finally. So it's something that is very inspiring, and that is why I would like to dive there, Mrs. Rikki. The Empty Bowl. Can you please, Mrs. Rikki, discuss more on that book, and do you also have more books you are planning to write in the coming future, Mrs. Rikki?
Well, thank you for asking. The Empty Bowl is the story of me searching for truth. I was raised a Catholic. We believed in God, but that God failed to answer my prayers. Cruel. That God did not work for me. And I needed to find something in my own heart to trust, to rely on, to talk to. Life is very hard. It's filled with disappointment and betrayal. And I did. I was unprepared for the empty of adult burdens in my life, and I needed God. But the God of my religion was not there. And I had to go on a long search to try and find is true. For me, the deepest truth that I can find, I can't say true like, true, but true West, I find. Um, so in the empty bowl, I tell you my story from 5 years old to 70 years old, searching through science, searching religions and Zen and yoga and meditation and searching through science for deeper truths. And what I have come to that I think is extremely important is within each of us is the whole universe, all of God, all of love, within our hearts. We are made of the beauty and love of the universe. We don't act like it. I'm admitting it, but deep within us. We are not like, say there was a garden, beautiful garden full of flowers and everything, and some god came in and picked one flower named Temmie and threw it in the dirt and said, "Good luck, make it on your own. Have fun, Temmie, out there alone in the wilderness." This is how our modern world treats us. Like we have just suddenly appeared out of biology or something, and then we just get thrown into the world. Good luck, figure it out. Uh, I had to get a new understanding of myself, a new way of knowing what I am. Oh, I'm a woman? Yeah, but that's not my deepest part. I'm a lesbian? Oh, that's just a sexual preference. It has nothing to do with my deep truth. I'm white? Well, that gives me a lot of historical shame and historical guilt, privilege, but it's not who I am. There's something much deeper about every one of us. And this is what I had to find in myself, and it changed my identity. I have a friend, this is a tough story, but I have a friend whose ethnic tribe, is in constant battle with another ethnic tribe. And in recent events in America have brought up a lot of physical confrontation and protests and so forth. And my friend got in a situation that was dangerous, and the police had to help him escape. And he was very proud of this. He felt like he really stood up as his ethnic group against the other ethnic group. And I thought it was very sad because we need to get past our color, our history, our religion, our sex, our preferences, and find the deep truth of our humanity, where we all spring from the same thing. I know many religions try to teach this, but none of them spoke my language. It's like they're all old. They're old, and maybe that gives them power of tradition, but it doesn't give them a modern energy or voice. So in my book, I tried to tell you what I did to try and find this inner truth in myself. But when it began to happen, I began to see that what I am is beautiful, harmonious, aware, eternal, profound. And that eternal, profound stuff made this little person here. But it didn't throw me in the dirt. It's still in me. Whenever I need courage, I have no courage. I'm a total coward. Put me at the top of a ski slope and I'll sit down and cry. But the courage to live, honestly, the courage to live with truth, the courage to live with love, the courage to forgive, to let go. This depth is within every human being. Every human being is a profound expression of God's deepest love. Why we F it up so bad and hurt each other so much, I think, comes from fear. Because we think, oh, I'm a 74-year-old woman with tiny bones, and I'm going to get old and I'm going to die, and blah, 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 about me. I better go out and try to make myself feel better by beating somebody up or making a lot of money or buying a new car or getting married to a new person or something to try to fix me. No, no, you are fixed. You are all the beauty of the universe. So when this shift started to happen in me, the anxiety and depression that I inherited from my family uh, began to slip away because I no longer felt like such a restricted, empty, lonely, isolated, challenged, broken thing. I began like a living, energetic part of the whole. Root lines, ROTLINES, root lines, and it's the story of my sister's cancer and me being a stem cell donor for her, in which I explore a lot of spiritual exploration. The empty bowl, I said, is the story of how I found this inner truth.
Definitely, Mrs. Ricky. I'm 100% listening to every single word that you've been saying. And it makes me understand that everything also goes back to respect. No matter the background we find ourselves, no matter the religion, or no matter what we are, the personality is one of the most important things. And that is why no matter who we have, no matter what we have to learn to try our best to respect one another so that we could know the different ethnics, no matter how it is. And also, it's also make people understand that no matter how we are in this world, we are all different. What works for me might not work for someone else. One might be in a certain group or certain community, and it might not be something that is just working. And that same person will leave that community and go back to another one, and things are thriving. So we have to know ourselves, and which goes back to ourselves. We have to understand who we are, what we are,
Yes.
and how we can navigate that to know the right place we belong. It is very important, and that is what I have to let people to understand from every single thing you brought on board. And also, I would like to know from this question, because when people have gotten to this point whereby they are feeling better, they are healing, they are getting to be in community, they will also want to know when they are feeling or getting to the point whereby they are healing. That means they are getting to a point whereby they feel like it's like I'm already healing from all this family inheritance, all this issue that I've had from my background. So, what do you feel from your experience are some of the small signs and feelings that can let a person know that they are beginning to heal, even if they are still feeling broken in their life, Mrs. Ricky?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Let me say, one of the things that I noticed in myself was I stopped feeling disrespected and insulted by others. Particularly, my wife can be a very annoying person. Everyone can say that about their husband or wife. Anyway, um, when we fight, you know, she would fight, yell at me and say things, and I would take it personally. I'm a bad person, or she's insulting me. I'm not getting respect. I want it to be respect. Why don't you talk to me this way? Talk to me that way. When you say that, it hurts me. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. But as my identity began to shift from feeling like that broken, vulnerable person into feeling like I'm nature, I'm the whole cycle of life. Um, she would say something, and I would go, so what? She said something. That's all that happened. She said something. It didn't even, it would stop getting to my heart. It stopped bothering like I just felt I am a respectable and good thing. If you treat me with that respect, that's about you. That's not me. That's something happening in you. So this shift in, instead of always feeling victimized by something in the world, I began to feel strong and free of being victimized, which is a tremendous shift. It's a huge shift. But it showed up first in my most intimate relationship in small ways like that. Another thing that I think might be extremely helpful is that once one finds one's inner depth, to be able to get back to it in a moment of crisis. Everybody's screaming and we're all angry and stuff's happening. And can I go find that and get a fresh feeling, fresh thought, fresh clarity, drop my emotions? Right now in America, there's a movement for white supremacy that's incredibly offensive to me. And a lot of times I hate those people. I just hate them. I wake up, I read the paper, and I'm swearing for the activities they're perpetrating on others. They're bad and I'm good. That is not a clear thought. That is not a truth. It looks like it, but it's not a truth. The truth is something much closer to many individual hearts who are seeking love and safety strike out in crazy ways to try and get it. And all these MAGA people, as destructive and cruel and unchristian as they seem to me, in each of their lives, they're trying to find good.
Yeah.
So this helps me as I begin to understand our shared being, our shared being. I share it with trees, with flowers, with Jupiter, with God, with you, and with the people in America that I'm unhappy with. This is the place to begin, from our shared humanity.
We definitely know that the world that we are living now has changed. A lot of things have changed. During those old time, a lot of things are really, happening during that time that has really, really changed currently now. And that is why we have to have discussions like this to make people understand how they could age back, how they could make things more better, how they could also try their best to see and feel and know when they are also healing from this past pain. Because we have to understand ourselves, whether we like it or not. Is when we understand who we are. We definitely know that social media is showing a lot of things, but we have to know who we are and know where we 100% belong and know how we could navigate that and also use that to help ourselves to become a better person. So I would also like to dive back to your book, The Empty Bowl, Mrs. Rikki. If listeners can take away just one message from your book, what truth should they hold on to, Mrs. Rikki?
Yes, uh, I really feel the most important thing is not, here's what's not most important, to think of all the ways that you are aggrieved, all the ways that you've been hurt, gypped, lied to, ripped off, betrayed. Forget about it. Somehow to go deeper into what am I as a human being? What are my morals? What makes my life worth living? What makes me feel grand, wonderful? It's forgiveness. It's embracing. It's love. It's also action. Love doesn't mean I can't go to a demonstration and condemn things. Love can be active. Uh, I love the principles on which my country was founded of equality and freedom. I love those principles profoundly. It is worth it for me to fight in an angry way to protect them. But I can't leave the center. I can't leave God. I have to stay with the God of my heart, not the God of my church. Somehow that's coming out really distorted right now. Religious leaders are not helping us. We have got to find in our own hearts. And every single one of your listeners, I hate to say this because I know in Africa you suffer things that I don't suffer, physical harm and hunger and poverties that I don't have to endure. So I can really only speak to my experience of trauma, to my experience of hate, fear, loneliness, isolation, despair. These have all been part of my life. In the face of all that, to find within yourself what's truly beautiful.
Yeah.
This is imperative. Find the beauty in yourself, it will spill out into the world. This is my message to you, beautiful people.
Thank you so much for the beautiful message, Mrs. Ricky. In the world that we are today, I also want to add on humility is also one thing that is important for us to also become better and do things that are more reliable in the life we find ourselves. And also, as we as humans, we also need to try our best to gain ourselves to become more better. We have to try our best to make things worthwhile because we have to start to tell ourselves the truth. No matter who we
Yes,
are, the temple is in the heart. Our heart is the
yes,
temple. I've
yes,
encountered a lot of people who goes to probably church or everything, and what is inside is too much. But I've seen some people who do not even do much, but in fact, their heart is beautiful, and that is what we
that's
need
it.
to know. The heart is the temple. Is the way we treat our heart and how we connect on top with the way we know ourselves and how we could build ourselves. That is what define how we could thrive or where we will get to in life. It's not true, and that is what we need to know. The truth is meant to be spoken, and that is what we need to know. The truth is meant to be spoken, and people need to know that we ourselves are the main temple. We are the one that need to work on ourselves to see how we could grow and become a better person. Anyone that
Yes,
wants to do it for us, I don't think it's going to be happen because we are the main person, and that is the truth.
yes,
So I thank you for that
yes,
insight. There is a question I
yes.
normally ask during the end of the show. From our forefathers, from our ancestors, there are a lot of things that do exist during our ancestral time, beautiful things that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, Mrs. Ricky, what do you think that thing will be, Mrs. Ricky?
The thing I think of is community. People used to be able to bond in community with shared values, shared beliefs, shared joys. Now our communities have become like gangs or something. That it's like, I'm in this community and it's people with blue skin and orange eyes and who believe in this particular religion. You know what I mean? Um, but in the old, I grew up in a community. It was a small town. The shopkeepers knew us. The police knew us as teenagers. But they would just call our parents to come pick us up because we were got in a little bit of trouble. Uh, I would love to see a return to community without tribalism. Do you know what I mean?
I get it.
Without that separating prejudice.
Community is what we need. I think is one of the number one thing that we are lacking today, and it is not great for us. It is not helping us. Even I, as a person, it is not helping. Sometimes I used to feel like, I just feel like just to explore and say things like this, and I could not find it. And it's something we are lacking. We need to connect. We need to connect with nature. We need to build this kind of community. We do know that the internet and everything is uprising now, but we have to try our best to still respect the
Mhm.
nature and we humans as ourselves. I also want to use this opportunity to thank you for the opportunity you've given to me today. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ricky.
Well, about this for a little while. I want to add one little thing if you have another moment.
All right.
I think it is very difficult for people to tell the truth and to see the truth. It's
Okay.
frightening. To look for a new truth, you have to break down old ideas, and that process can be frightening. This adventure. I'm with you, sister. I'm with you, brother. It's scary, but let's do it and save the planet and save each other.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ricky. Have a wonderful day, Mrs. Ricky. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.